My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Central Hill Road, Ecker, Mississippi, 38841. I'm still under attack by Scientology. They are driving parasites through me and my family's body from a remote location. They are also stealing biology, body parts. They are using them as a torture device. I am in severe pain. So are my animals. So I got dropped off at the hospital a couple of days ago. Then I went to the police department and filed a police report. And I continuously got tortured the entire time I was gone. Just walking around. They cut my brain severely in places that had yet been cut. Mostly my corpus callosum and my thalamus. No, they're not eating me. They're putting my body in some kind of caustic solution. They have a tub full of caustics that make us feel pain. They keep cutting my biology off of me and putting it in it. No, they do different things to different parts of my body. Some of it they electrify. They make me feel electricity. Some of it they put in the tub. Some of it they put down a hole or make it fall through space-time, which is a different sensation. It's more like a friction burn. Some of it they mutilate, kind of like crush syndrome. They just destroy it. I've been hive mind for 13 years. Aliens are not eating us. These are humans on Earth doing this to me. So the Scientology process, there are more than 3 dimensions. There are 11 dimensions. There are also other particles attached to us that we can't see. Some kind of dark energy or dark matter. We have biology in these extra dimensions. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. Yes, when we die, we live on. So Scientology is the practice of utilizing this extra dimensional biology before we die. They remove part of it from themselves. They leave enough attached to them to survive. You would die if you lost it all. So they remove part of it from themselves. And they utilize technology and techniques to turn it into an upper dimensional vehicle. But these biologies can't function properly in this state. They need organs and tissues from other humans and other species in an attempt to make themselves whole and function properly again. So they steal body parts from other humans and other species to modify themselves into a fully functioning 11-dimensional biology in which they can drive around the upper dimensions. Yes, these are the aliens. Scientology is creating aliens. Yes, I'm very sick and I'm in pain. So Scientologists need extra-dimensional body parts from other organisms. It's what they do. They need them to complete the Scientology process, and they also need them for some kind of UMAS. They call it UMAS operation and surrogate operation. They covet other people's biology. Yes, they are making surrogates out of other people's body parts. No, I'm not getting eaten. I watch. I see every single thing they do. They make me watch them do it. It's part of their torture regimen. Yes, I have phone services, a bunch of them. A thalamus phone, earphones. Plus, they have part of my brain in the hive mind. Yes, there is an entanglement property between our third dimension and our extra dimensions. If you remove a piece of extra dimensional biology, you are in this biology no matter where it goes in the universe. So you could remove a piece of extra dimensional biology no matter where you take it, you are still in this biology. Some of my body parts are at UMAS. Some of them are on my location, 3102 Central Hill Road, Edgar, Mississippi, 38841. Some of them have been, they tell me it's at the Air Force Base in Tupelo, the police station in Tupelo, and the police stations in Pontotoc. And then some of them have been taken to Illinois because some of these people involved are Illinois police and Illinois citizens. And some of it is just at random locations. Yes, they say some of it is being kept safe, but some of it has been used for a torture device. Scientology forces assimilation upon people. Ever since the 80s, they have been taking over society. If you have any kind of power, authority, or influence, any kind of job position in which they desire to control, they will force you to assimilate. They will force you into a hive mind or force you to practice Scientology so they can control your behavior. It's exploitation. So now we have Scientologists in every institution in our society. Radio companies, media companies, marketing companies, internet companies, tech companies, big businesses, the government, politicians, Department of Justice, the FBI, the CIA, the military. They all have Scientologists among their ranks. And these people are beholden to Scientology only, not the government and not the people. And they are harvesting the public, both for monetary gain and to complete their Scientology processes. Yes, if they need body parts, they just go out and take them from the public. And some of these marketing companies are also stealing people's eye nerves and brain tissue to put in their compounds, their storage systems, so they can see into our environments, invade our privacy. This technology controls the algorithms in which we see on social media and the internet, and it even controls the commercials we see on television. Yes, they're doing this to invade our privacy, to try to gain information about what we're buying or eating or using, the products we use, the things that we do. And they use this information to try to sell us things via internet ads and TV commercials. Yes, I'm very sick. I am burning. So this technology that they use, first off, they use this entanglement process for part of their hive mind technology. They remove parts of their brain, especially their brainstem, their thalamus, and their eyes. Some part of their biology. We have 11 dimensions and then another particle attached. So there's two separate biologies, and then maybe even a third. I don't know, we have a lot of biology. We produce Anunnakis. That is the human bloodline. We are an 11-dimensional humanoid species that flies through outer space and has horns on our head. That is the human afterlife experience. It seems hard to believe when looking at a human biology that we would be Anunnaki, but once you see the inverse, the extra dimensions, you know there's so much more space in the universe, and we have biology in these places. Yes, Scientologists chop up their Anunnaki and turn it into aliens. They make aliens, lizard people, insect people, and worm people. So they use this entanglement process to create a hive mind. They put their brain tissue into a storage system. And inside of this storage system, they interface this biology to a computer system. This allows them to communicate with each other. This allows them to interact with each other in the digital landscape. And it also acts as a command center in which they can control their upper dimensional biologies and surrogates. They also use technology on their upper dimensional biologies, wireless technology. They use it on their upper dimensional biologies plus their third, whatever is attached to their third. So they have devices that interface with their brain and central nervous system. Most of these devices are recording devices, or some of them are. And some of them are phone services, and some of them are sensors, hive mind technology. So this technology records sensory perception input. It records our sight, our smell, our taste, our touch, our hearing. Then they have phone services. So first there's a screen. It slides down to the top of their brain, and it merges with the visual cortex of their brain. It sits in front of your thalamus. I guess it interfaces with your eye nerves or something. But you can control this screen in the same manner that you would control the visual processes of your brain. Plus, they can stimulate it themselves. They can show you things. It's part of their phone service. Yes, I'm very sick. I'm in pain. Then this technology artificially stimulates brain and central nervous system. So they run energy through their brain and central nervous system, and it elevates our biological functions. It elevates our hormones and our neurochemistry. So they put these sensors on our glands and their neurons. It forces us to produce hormones such as testosterone, estrogen, and growth hormone. And it also forces the brain to produce neurochemistry. It elevates dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin, and even oxytocin, plus other neurochemicals. It has an extremely narcotic-like effect upon the user. It gets them twacked out of their heads. Plus, they can isolate individual memories or thought patterns and stimulate this area of brain tissue. So they can make you experience a memory or a thought pattern. They can even stimulate sexual organs, which they do in the hive. They have sexual relations with each other from a remote location. Lastly, this technology allows them to drive other organisms that are not their own. They call these surrogates. They can drive humans, animals, insects, and worms in any dimension. They call them surrogates. Yes, this is what they've done in my case. They have fed me parasites. They broke into my house and contaminated my food and water with parasites. And they also use insects and animals, plus drones. They can literally take a housefly and fly a load of parasites into your drink and drop them off or land on your skin. And then they use these parasites to assault me, torture me, to remove body parts, and then they're premeditating my murder. Some of them, they have set up like a little uh, uh, carny ride, like a ride at the fair. They're all going to get on it and ride it like a train through my body as it kills me. That's their plan. That's what they tell me. Yes, I filed a police report. Again, I've been reporting criminal activity to the police and to the feds for a long time. Now I finally officially filed a police report. Yes, I've lost a lot of brain function. I can hardly think anymore. Most of my brain is gone. I am extremely sick. So this all started with forced assimilation. I used to be a political activist on social media. I was pretty good at it. I had a large following, and we actually got some things done in government. Yes, I probably made a lot of people mad, but that's politics. And I'm also an author. So I'm part Native American. My Native American name is Crazy Bird. And I write a lot. I used to write all the time on social media. I inspired a lot of people. I helped a lot of people write their own books, gave them ideas. Then someone forced me to assimilate, the civilian side. It was an internet company that made first contact. I told them to get away from me. I did not consent. They tried to control me, tell me what to do, how to do my job, when I could take breaks, when I could go to the bathroom. They're communist. And I told them to get away from me. I did not accept their advances. And then a whole bunch of people came, and they were hostile. They threatened my life and my liberty. They harassed me constantly. And I started yelling at them. Get away from me. Stop doing this. Well, communication dialed down, but it became apparent that the public was invading my privacy. Radio companies that would speak to me every morning on the way to work, NPR and MPB, social media, internet, Google, Microsoft, big business, and the government. These people were communicating with me in the real world, and it was apparent that they were invading my privacy. Yes, they would speak about things that was going on in my life. And then it turned into intellectual property theft. So the things that I was working on, my literature, the things that I was writing and studying, and my philosophy, it was being stolen by these people to utilize as their own, in their own work, especially media personnel, magazine authors, and people writing their own literature. And I became very sick. I started to feel things stuck inside of my ear, my neck, and my head, stuck down inside of me. My whole face swelled up. So I started going to the hospital to try to get it out. They didn't see anything, but it was there. And looking back, it's apparent now that these people were surrogates, or they were afflicted in some way, which Scientology does. If they need to control a job, or some kind of job decision, or any kind of influence by anybody, they will force you to assimilate, which is what they've done in my case. All of my medical professionals have been assimilated because they can see the future. I'll explain that in a moment. So as time went on, I felt more and more ill, and communication grew worse and worse. So these people that were seeing into my environment were harassing me. It was like they wanted something bad to happen. They kept me stressed out every day. And as time went on, they stole more and more intellectual property. So I wrote Crazy Bird Comics. I wrote the Environmental Creation Agency or Environmental Control Agency. I wrote Divine Currency or Buffalo Dollars. I wrote Alien Bob, Bug Bob, Space Bob, several other stories. And they started stealing my intellectual property. Then one day they installed more hive mind technology or they removed more brain tissue. I woke up one day seeing things and hearing voices. And then I seen that these people that were communicating with me in real life were in my environment on their extra dimensional biologies. They were here in my home on their extra dimensions, on their alien presence. This is a haunting by Scientology. Then they started stealing biology. So they made so much money exploiting me, letting other Scientologists invade my mind space for a fee because they enjoyed watching me create. They did this for personal enjoyment and also to steal my ideas. So then these people wanted my biology. They wanted the ability to do this themselves. First, they tried tethers. They tried hooking my brain to another human's, where the words that come out of my mouth also come out of their mouth. I don't know how long they've been doing this, but they did. I've actually heard a girl on MPB speak the exact same words that I did. And then they started stealing more and more brain tissue to use as transplants. They literally cut brains out of my head and stuck it in someone else's head. Yes, that's what aliens do. They tried to harness my intellectual abilities. And then it turned into a snuff film. So it became apparent that I had worms, big parasites. They started driving them through my biology, assaulting me with them. And they would harass me greatly every day, constantly 24/7. They would give me death threats. Then they would start counting down 10, 9, 8, like they were fixing to kill me. Yes, I went a little crazy. I started yelling every day at them, running around up and down the roads. No, I've never been a surrogate. Yes, they plan on making me a surrogate. They're going to try, but somebody's probably going to stop them. I'm going to die. They want to kill me and replace me with a look-alike. My skin's burning. So are my eyes. So here's what they're doing. Dead people, Anunnakis, plus Scientologists. We have special abilities in the afterlife, in the upper dimensions. Our extra dimensional biology has special abilities. So we have 11 dimensional eyes, big old eyes that can see in any dimension, down to the molecular level. So we can fly, we can move around through outer space, we don't have to walk. We can even do molecular transfer, so we can move things, we can move particles around with our mind. They use their eyes and their hands and things. We can even see a biology functioning. So we can see energy flowing through a biology. We can see the brain and central nervous system lining up. We can see particles flowing through people's biology. And we can even interact with this biology in a very intimate way. So we can make it grow and develop on the extra dimensional side and on the inverse side. We can help things grow and develop. We can turn you on. And they can also manipulate and modify genetic material. So they can manipulate DNA. They can help a biology produce certain features and aspects which they desire. They're using this ability to hurt me. They see where I'm functioning and they like to take it out. Yes, I'm sick. I'm in pain. I'm dizzy. I'm weak. And my dogs keep going crazy, jumping around, rubbing up on me, trying to get in my face. They're in pain too.